All right, great. Today we have Stewart and Deanna Junge from Andover, Massachusetts, and they are small business owners that are living through this crisis that we're going through right now. But I think you're going to be very excited to hear what they have to say about what they were doing and what they are doing now. So I'm going to start with you, Stewart. If you would just give us a rundown of your business and maybe just a little bit of a history and where you stand right now.
So our concentration is in cabinetry and millwork, and we service the residential and commercial markets throughout New England. And we've been doing business for nearly 20 years. And with the COVID crisis, we found it very important that we had to pivot real fast. And we designed a acrylic barrier. We call it safeguards for countertops, transaction tops, anywhere there's human interaction in the public, and even in office spaces that you want to protect your employee and your patrons.
Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds pretty easy. They went from A to B just like that, but we know it wasn't just quite that quick. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about what was going on prior to COVID. What was going on with your business? How were you performing? Go ahead, Deanna.
Yeah, actually our business was growing prior to COVID. Like Stewart mentioned, we service both the commercial and residential cabinetry markets. We have several projects in queue that we're still working on, even though we're behind closed doors. We were doing a lot of business development, and we were really seeing ourselves taking our business to the next level. We were in the process of renovating our showroom here in Andover, and it's kind of cool because we've had this idea for so long, and we're finally at the point in our business where we were able to take advantage of it. We're renovating the showroom to make it a design center for the North Shore. So that means it's going to be a space for our clients to come meet with us, touch and feel samples, go through some things, but we're also going to be opening our doors when we're able to local designers and contractors so they can use it as a resource center as well. So we really were right at that pivotal point of taking our core business to the next level when we got the news about COVID outbreak.
When the outbreak came, were you shut down? Were you considered an essential business? What was, what parameters were put in place or restrictions?
So we are an essential business.
Okay.
But given the nature of working, we work too close to each other, and there was just not a good comfort. It wasn't comforting having employees work so close together.
Mm-hmm.
And then
mm-hmm.
it's just unfortunate, one of our employees was diagnosed in the hospital.
So how did you, that's interesting. How did you react, and how did you manage that?
Reaction was go to work every day as normal, and work harder and get more efficient. And so I haven't taken a day off. I'm in the shop 12 to 14 hours every day straight through.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was an opportunity to get the shop organized. It's the shop is super organized. It's the most efficient it's ever been. And it's just keep going forward with projects in queue. When I'm not working on the projects in queue, I was designing these acrylic safeguards. So designing, prototyping, running, and now selling.
Okay, so when you found out that the employee had the COVID virus, was there a fear, a shock? How did you manage that?
There was definitely fear because we have our kids here in our shop every day. We have 2 boys. They're on remote learning right now for school, but we were all exposed to this employee. Luckily, he's home now and he's doing fine. But we were all within days of learning that he had tested positive. We were all in the shop. Actually moving materials together, and the kids were here doing their remote learning. So, definitely a moment of fear, but, just kind of took that deep breath and, kind of went back in our head about, interactions and, we were all wearing masks in the shop at that point. So, we were relatively confident that we were not exposed. But of course, the next 14 days, were kind of, a scary time, just to make sure that nobody was starting to exhibit any kind of symptoms.
Well, how many people do you have working in the shop now?
Right now, it's just us.
Okay.
Stuart and I, and then the boys are here doing their learning. And then, we do family projects as well to kind of take a break from things. So, but right now we don't have any employees in the shop.
Okay. What type of planning are you doing for when this breaks and people get back to whatever the new normal is? Have you sat down and talked or thought through or mapped anything out?
Yeah, I mean, we're actually, obviously we're still in communication with the one employee who's out, but we're actually thinking about, putting out a help wanted ad and thinking about taking on somebody else additional once we get back into the swing of things. We're wrapping up the projects that we have in queue and storing cabinetry for clients who can't take delivery right now because their general contractor's not working. But with this new segment of our business with these acrylic barriers, we're very confident that we're gonna be busy when things settle and we're able to really get back to business as usual.
Okay, so from cabinets, and I have to ask, whose idea was it for the acrylic barriers? Okay. So it's from cabinets to acrylic barriers. So you, Stuart, tell us, did you brainstorm it? Did it just come to you? Was it a natural? How did it happen?
So I was watching the news one evening and I saw a news person interviewing somebody, and they had this makeshift barrier. And as soon as I saw it, I realized that's going to be the new norm. And then I just started thinking right after that, and prototyping, researching, trying to source material. So it's I took the thought and just went with it.
And he's always wanted to have a product. Everything that we do in our shop is custom. We don't keep any inventory of cabinetry. Everything that we do is truly custom for our clients. And Stuart's always had the desire to have some kind of product line to sell as kind of, just kind of like the staple part of the business, where orders come in on a regular basis and you're fulfilling orders while you're doing the custom work as well. And it's the kind of work that, as we progress in the development of the business, we're always looking for something that's scalable, something that employees can truly do without needing, direct interaction and supervision from Stewart, as far as like teaching skills. And a product like this is perfect like that, because we get the material in a lift at a time. So we're getting 40 sheets at a time, and it gets run on our CNC. So it's the perfect, repetitive task that can be delegated to somebody.
Good. So there's going to be a lot of people looking at this that are going, you're so lucky because you came up with a solution, something you could jump on, because there's a ton of businesses out there figuring out how they're even going to move their core business forward. And there's a lot of that going on there. So interested to hear from you some advice that you would have for the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of business owners out there that are feeling like it's going to be a real stretch moving forward, and they haven't had a safeguard to move forward.
So as soon as we were forced to close the doors, I knew that if we didn't pivot into something, that we were going to be out of business. And it was just, we had to do something. So if you're concerned, I think that this is going to be a long-term issue. If you're concerned about your business, you got to figure out how to pivot.
Right. And I would say obviously we had a moment of fear, right? Like, how are we going to sell cabinets if we can't interact with people? And so it's all about adapting. So we've actually started doing Zoom calls like this for design consultations with clients. So, and they're going really well. Typically we would have that first meeting with somebody in their home, look at the space, and we're doing that via these Zoom calls now. So it's it's thinking outside the box. I know that sounds obvious, but don't let the fear consume you, because you just got to think outside the box and find another solution. There's the technology out there is amazing, and people I find they're very open-minded to figuring out the new ways to conduct business. And so, just look for that opportunity, look for that open window, and go for it.
The conversations between the two of you about when this happened, and how did you talk about it and plan about it? Because there's a lot of business owners that don't have a husband or a wife or a partner that they can share with, and they can brainstorm them with. What type of advice would you give them?
I would say find a mentor, find a coach. You need that outside voice right now, because otherwise the voices in your head will absolutely make you crazy. So for us, we actually we have a mentor through we recently graduated the veteran program through Enterprise, and we have a coach, a mentor that we spoke to, and actually a couple of people through that program, and kind of threw the idea out there and said, what do you think about this? And they were like, oh my gosh, it's brilliant. You have to do it. So I would say, don't get stuck in your own head. Talk to, reach out to people, find a coach or a mentor, and bounce ideas off of it. We've found in this time that people have time on their hands and they want to talk. They want to throw around ideas. They want to see how they can collaborate, find synergies between yourselves. And, and I find like everybody's looking to help each other out and lift each other up right now.
Great. Any closing comments before we sign off?
Good luck.
Good luck. So we have.
Go for it.
So we have. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said, let the fear drive you.
Awesome. Great word. Stewart and Deanna Junge from Andover, Massachusetts, and their business is Landmark Finish. I would encourage you to go to landmarkfinish.com and be sure to click on the Safeguards tab up in the top right-hand corner. You will see some pretty cool stuff. Thank you so much for your time, and please don't hesitate to reach out to Stewart and Deanna if you have questions. Have a great day.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you.